we inhale the arms up into Hastadasana, coming up onto the toes, stretching out through the spine, then lowering the heels, taking the hands through the heart space, rolling down. Bending the knees as much as you need to get the hands down, remembering to relax the head and neck. And then inhale, hands to the shins. We lengthen forward, body weight into the balls of the feet, lifting through the arches. And then exhale, planting the hands, stepping back into a plank. Pressing through the heels, pressing into the hands, armpits engaged, lower belly drawing in, breathing in. And then exhale, bending through the elbows, lowering down. Remember, you can always drop the knees if you need to. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, opening through the chest, shoulders back and down. Press into the hands, maybe the hips lift. And then exhale, hips to the heels, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, really pressing into those hands to get the body weight back, feet hip width apart. Pressing into the left foot, so making sure it's grounded. Right leg lifts, flexing through the toes. Then we step that right foot as far up as we can, and then maybe use that right hand to take it the rest of the way. Dropping the back knee down, inhale, press into the front foot, drawing the shoulders back by interlacing the fingers. Maybe we sink a little deeper. Taking the hands forwards, hips back, flexing the toes. Nice long spine, belly is towards the thigh. So you feel as though that back hip is drawing forwards and the front hip is drawing back, and that's going to intensify the stretch to the spine. Then inhale, lifting, lengthening, bending the front knee, planting the hands, lifting the back knee. See if you can lift that foot away, slide it back into your plank, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Remember, you can always drop the knees. Trying to lower the whole torso at once. Tops of the feet to the floor, inhale, opening through the chest. Maybe hips lift, maybe the knees might lift as well. If the knees do lift, we can lift the hips and roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Just something you can play around with at home.
Okay.
Armpits engaged. Left leg lifts, so we do the opposite now. Stepping that left foot as far up as we can. Pressing through that back heel to open through the hips. Back knee comes down, press into that front foot. Interlacing the fingers or opening through the chest. If at any time it feels too strong in the lower back, you just need to come up a little higher. Otherwise, we sink it down. And when you're ready, let's open through the hamstring this side. So plant the hands under the shoulders, hips draw back. So back hip draws forwards, front hip draws back, flexing the toes back towards the shins. Going to stretch out through here. If you want to take it a little bit more through the spine, you can just lift up onto the fingertips to just encourage that length. And so we keep that heart opening up rather than hunching forwards. We can gently move forwards, but we always try and keep those shoulders back and down. And that just comes with time. Ready, you bend that front knee, plant the hands either side of that front foot, lift the back knee, and slide that foot back. Press through the heels, press into the hands, armpits engaged, lowering down. Maybe it's all the way down, maybe it's just a little lift, maybe it's the hips lift, maybe it's the knees lift. Remembering if the knees are on the floor, the hips come back to the heels first, we tuck the toes. And then find downward facing dog. Taking 5 breaths here, or 3 breaths depending on what feels good. And because we focused on Hatha Bandha today, we'll really focus on the feet. So we spread the toes nice and wide. Pressing down to the big toe, little toe sided foot, lifting through the arches. You're pressing through the heels, lifting through the hips, tailbone tucking under a little, armpits engaged, pressing into those hands and breathing. And inhale up on the toes, exhale bend the knees, looking towards the thumbs, either stepping or jumping, and then inhaling.